trading account. Now, today we are going to discuss profit and loss account and balance sheet. Profit and loss account and balance sheet is very important terms, very important for while preparing the final account. Profit and loss account, it is just like a nominal account based expenses we have to record. How it will record that we are going to learn. We should know about the profit and loss account. Now, friends, in front of you is a one of the important. Now, I've seen this is a profit and loss account. It is an account in which all gains and losses are considered. Now we have to consider profit and loss account to find out whether we earn gain over the losses or we suffer losses or not, that we are going to find out. And for that purpose every partnership firm prepare profit and loss account. Now friends, whenever we have to talk about the profit and loss account, debit side we will record it all expenses and losses, and credit side we will record all incomes and gains. It's a nominal account. Nominal account rule: debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. On that basis, we will prepare profit and loss account. Now friends, profit and loss account debit side, whatever expenses recorded, such expenses are called indirect expenses. Such expenses are called indirect expenses. And profit and loss account trade side, we will record incomes and gains. Such incomes and gains are called indirect incomes and gains. So debit side, we will record it indirect expenses and losses. And credit side, we will record indirect incomes and gains. Now, profit and loss account, we will record day-to-day business expenses. Profit and loss account debit side, we will record only partnership firms business expenses. These things you have to keep in mind. We will record only partnership.
Sir, your voice is not being heard properly. We can't hear your voice properly, sir. So your voice is not audible. Sir, your voice is not audible to us. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, sir.
Is whether I'm audible,
Yes,
friends,
sir.
whether I'm audible or not.
No, sir.
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay, now we will discuss today profit and loss account. And this profit and loss account, it's very important whenever we will discuss final account. Profit and loss account debit side, we can say that it is a expenses side. Credit side, we can say that it is a income side. Profit and loss account debit side, we will record indirect expenses. Profit and loss credit side, we will record indirect incomes. Under profit and loss account, partnership firms business expenses, we will record it debit side of the profit and loss account. And credit side, we will record day to day business in not a non-business incomes and business incomes also in credit side. Day-to-day business expenses include salary, salary to the employee in the partnership firm. They appoint some employees and they are getting some amount of salaries. The whole year's salary we will put profit and loss account debit side. If it is the outstanding salary is there, it is also recorded profit and loss account. Sometimes partnership firm provide salary as well as wages. Then such expenses we will record it separately under account. If partnership firm have their warehouse office premises and this particular office premises and warehouse they are paying rent, rental office is there, rental warehouse is there. So rent and taxes we will show profit and loss account side. Insurance, time company take the insurance the employee, such expenses also recorded profit and loss account debit side. Then electricity, lighting in the office premises we required electricity, lighting, office lighting, and these kinds of expenses we will show profit and loss account debit side. These things you have to keep in mind what kind of things we have to. Is somebody has chatting, somebody has not mute. I request, not a request, I again inform you, please mute yourself, otherwise other people's other students may disturb because of your knowingly or unknowingly disturbing others. So don't disturb others because it is a lecture accountancy lecture is there, and I will not repeat again and again such things. I don't want such kinds of disturbance again and again. It is your duty. You have to you have to keep your mic in off mode, mute mode. These things you have to follow. Then friends, in the offices, they keep the telephones, postage, the telephone charges during the particular financial year, and postage also recorded profit and loss account debit side. Then traveling expenses of salesman. Partnership firm appointed certain salesman, and they will give partnership firm give some amount of traveling expenses. So it is related to the business. Then depreciation on assets which is part of partnership firm. For example, land and building, furniture, plant and machinery. These are the assets are there, and we have to charge depreciation, and it is one of the expenses, and it is recorded profit and loss account debit side. Then after that, loading expense charges. Is there any loading charges are there? That also we have to see, record in our debit side. Audit fees, if it is the audit fee is there, auditors they appointed, and auditors is a person who check investigate the all the books of record, and generally every partnership firm prepare their financial statements and certified with the auditor, and therefore they required to pay audit fees to the auditor, and such audit fees we will show profit and loss account debit side. Then entertainment expenses, repair, renewal, maintenance expenses. Entertainment expenses means tea, coffee, such kinds of expenses are created. That is called entertainment expenses. The repair, renewal expenses. If any kind of repair, renewal in the office premises, such expenses are related to the business. Interest on loan. If the partnership firm borrow loan from bank, financial institutions, and if they pay the interest will be recorded debit side as a business expenses. Then sundry and miscellaneous expenses. Some expenses which are miscellaneous, small amount of expenses, very trivial expenses. Such expenses we have to debit it. Then after that, conveyance, loss by fire, loss by thief, loss by accident. Sometimes fire occurred and whole whole goods destroyed. Insurance company uh, provide certain amount of claim which is not sufficient. Whatever loss occurred on by fire, sometime on thief or loss in accident, Such expenses we have to put profit and loss account debit side. Then goods distributed as a free sample. It is a one of the loss because free sample it's not a income. It's a free sample we will provide it. Sometimes partnership firm launch any particular new product or sometime they want to do the publicity for that purpose they will introduce free distribution of samples. Then commission allowed, commission given to the salesman, it is also expenses. Discount allowed, discount given to the traders, it is also expenses. Then conveyance is there. Then advertisement, carriage outward, sales expenses, bad dates, export duty, taxes. These are expenses related to the business. General expenses, trade expenses, sometimes legal expenses are there. We have to record. Professional charges, bank charges, solicitor fees, secondary packing charges, loss on sale of the fixed asset. These are the all expenses, and expenses are always recorded profit and loss account debit side. One thing you have to keep in mind, it is expenses, it is indirect expenses, and it is a partnership firm business expenses. If it is there, then we have to put. And such expenses generated in that particular financial year, then we can record such expenses in our profit and loss account debit side. Now friends, credit side, we will record incomes. We will record incomes. The incomes, what kind of incomes? Commission received, it is an income. Discount received or earned, interest received. Sometimes company purchase debentures, and on that debentures company get the interest, that is the income. We will record it profit and loss account credit side. Sometimes company purchase other company shares, and such companies give dividend. Such dividend is recorded profit and loss account debit side. Rent received, sometime our premises, the partnership firms premises, partnership firms house, or any kind of factory warehouse, partnership firm give to some other company, some other persons, and getting certain amount of rent, that is also income. Or any sundry incomes, sometime partnership firm provide any kind of forms and get certain amount of fees. So that also we have to record. Profit on sale of the assets, sometime old asset, it is in scrap, partnership firm sell these assets because it is in scrap, and whatever amount of profit earned, it is recorded profit and loss account credit side. Now friends, uh, credit side minus debit side, whatever amount come, it is considered as a net profit and it is transferred to partners capital. If the credit side is more than the debit side, net profit will occur. If the debit side is more than credit side, that time they suffer losses. They suffer losses. And net loss, when net loss occurred, when debit side total is more than credit side total, that time in net loss occurred. Whenever the credit side total is more than the debit side total, that time net profit occurs. And this net profit we will transfer to partners capital account. Net profit where we will transfer partners capital account and sometimes current account also. How it will be transferred? So it is transferred as per the profit sharing ratio, as per the profit sharing ratio. Where we will transfer, it is transferred to balance sheet. So what do you mean by balance sheet? The balance sheet is nothing but statement of assets and liabilities. Balance sheet is a statement of assets and liabilities. This side is called as a liability side. This side is called as assets. Profit, whatever profit earned, we will record it here. Whatever loss occurred in the profit and loss account, it is recorded in our credit side. Not a credit side, asset side. Loss we will record it asset side and profit will be recorded liability side. Now it is a statement between the assets and liabilities. In that, if we apply fixed capital method, so we have to write the capital account and the three partners are there, partner A, B and C, and their capital balances. It is always fixed. And that time we have to write all the partners expenses and the incomes under partners current account, under partners current account. Then if it is any general reserve is there, that we have to show in liability side. Profit and loss account we already discussed. Then mortgage loan, bank loan, loan from partners, the taken loan taken, we will record it balance sheet liability side. Then current liabilities, it includes bills payable, bank overdraft, sundry creditors, sometimes any other kind of adjustment and provisions for discount, that adjustment added, the provision for discount deducted. Some outstanding expenses are there that we will record it liability side. Income received in advance, it is a liability. Income received in advance, it is a liability. We will show liability side. Then provision for taxes, any kind of provision due by partnership firm in that particular previous year, it is recording liability side. The tax provision is there, they record. Then asset side. Asset side, we will record it first fixed assets. Now, what kind of assets are there? Assets are goodwill, land and building, plant and machinery, furniture and fixtures, equipments, delivery or motor van, leasehold premises, patents, loose tools. So these are the assets we will show asset side, and we will deduct depreciation from each assets. Depreciation from each asset. One thing you have to remember, land is not a depreciable asset. We will not depreciate any amount from land. If land and building is there, that time depreciation we will deduct it. Only land is there, we will not deduct depreciation from land amount, because Land is not a depreciable asset. These things you have to keep in mind. Goodwill is an intangible asset. If it is depreciation value is there, then we will deduct. Otherwise, not. Sometimes they will provide. Sometimes they will not provide. If it is provided, then we have to. They are not provided. There is no depreciation. Other fixed asset, we have to deduct the depreciation. Then after that, friends, next thing is there. Now, friends, can you see this? Okay. Now, then after that, we will write prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses. Expenses paid in advance. Expenses paid in advance. We have to put assets. If income received in advance, left this side, and expenses paid in advance, it is called prepaid expenses, record assets. Then any outstanding expenses, assets. Outstanding incomes, outstanding expenses are there, it is left this side. Loans and advances, if it is there, it is asset side. Closing stock, asset side. Debtors, any kind of adjustment, new RDD, provision for discount, that will be deducted. Insurance claim received also show asset side. Bill receivable, cash in hand, cash at a bank, such kinds of amount we will record it. Partner's current account balance we will record it, right side, and partner's current account balance, asset side also we will record it, but it is a debit balance. Now these things you have to keep in mind whatever we have studied after preparing this balance sheet, whatever amount come, it should be tally. It should be tally. Then friends, these are one of the balance sheet is there that you should know about. The balance sheet you have to write on your notebook. The balance sheet is a statement showing assets and liabilities, and this balance sheet shows the financial affairs of the company. Now, friends, what you have to do, whatever we have discussed, last lectures we have discussed the trading account. Today, we are discussing profit and loss account, balance sheet. Also, we are discussing now this all the formats you should write in your notebook. In your notebook, you should write. And next lectures, whenever you come, that time we will start solving some problems which are related to the partnership final account. I hope you understood what is going on. Generally, final account sum is very important, and whenever we will solve, we will easily get maximum marks. Maybe tomorrow I will provide some questions on final account. Um, Tomorrow morning I will give the PDF form final account questions. Such questions you have to see. And question number one, you have to write on your notebook. Whenever we have a lecture, I think tomorrow we have a last lecture. That time we will discuss question number one. And in your notebook if the question number one is there, question, so it is very simple to understand the answer, how to prepare trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So one thing you have to do after completing this particular lecture, you should prepare profit and loss account, balance sheet. Early morning, I will give PDF of questions. First question, you have to write on your notebook, and whenever our lecture is there, fourth lecture tomorrow, that time we will solve final account question number one. So these things you have to follow, you will get good marks. One more thing I want to share with you. I already informed many classes, many lectures. Maybe your exam college will conduct online basis. College can conduct your exam online basis. Our lectures, online lectures are there. Sometimes it is chances are there. College conduct exam online basis also. Therefore, you have to start your preparation. Yes, friends, do you have any doubts regarding today's lecture about profit and loss account, balance sheet? Whenever tomorrow we will discuss the problem number one, that time we will discuss the various kinds of adjustments and we will acquire maximum knowledge. Such knowledge you can easily competence you can easily solve any kind of partnership final account sum. Such knowledge you require to acquire, and for that purpose you should come regularly, attend the lectures. Tomorrow we will give the PDF, whatever problem you suffer regarding solving. Last 2 3 lectures we have discussed the piecemeal distribution of cash also. Is there any particular problem? Is there any particular doubt? You can share on your chat box also, in the chat box also, or on WhatsApp group also. I will solve. Okay. I don't think you have the problem. Now one thing you have to do, you have to prepare the profit and loss account. You already prepared trading account in your notebook. Prepare the profit and loss account, balance sheet, and keep all these things in a ready form. Then after that, you will be eligible to solve any kind of sum. I hope you understood. Right now, I will stop this lecture and I will put this lecture in the YouTube, and you can see whatever we have discussed today, and you can see the format of the profit and loss account and trading account also. And this particular format you have to write profit and loss trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. This format you have to see on the YouTube and write the all formats on your notebook. Writing practice is very important. Okay, so I hope you understood whatever we have discussed. You don't have any problem. Okay, fine. So I will stop here and I will put this particular video on YouTube. Okay, bye.